Okay. I believe David's coming, but it's 6 o'clock, so we're going to start. Welcome to the Select Board meeting for Monday, September 8th, 2025. We're meeting in the McCoy Meeting Room at Mashpee Town Hall, 16 Great Neck Road North, Mashpee, Mass. We're broadcast live on local cable 8 and 1072 and stream live on the Town of Mashpee website. It's 6 p.m. and we will convene an open session. Would you please silence your cell phones? Thank you. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. September is Suicide Prevention Month. Would you join me in a moment of silence for all those who have died by suicide, their families, friends, and all others who have been touched by suicide? Thank you. I'm sure everybody had the opportunity to review the minutes. Is there a motion?
I think I have one correction.
Oh, please.
Is it Pimlico Pond? It's a Pimal. It's P-I-M-A-L-C-L-E in the minutes. It's Pimlico, I think.
Correct. What page is that, Mike? So
It's not numbered. No number on the page. Let's see.
I know I went through and numbered mine.
I think it's on the third page.
Okay.
Third type. Well, with that correction, I make a motion we approve.
I think I did have something else that I didn't have time to reach out. I wasn't sure, and other members of the board may be able to correct. In the statements around the Article 4, it was referenced that I commented that we consult with the Water District Commission. And is that the appropriate group that we were looking to communicate with? Or was it the Sewer Commission?
No, it depends.
Or is it both?
It was both. You had asked for both.
So the minutes reflect the Water District and not the Sewer Commission as much? So I didn't know if we could just add that. Yeah.
Sure.
And then the other one was relative to the Joint Base Cape Cod discussion. I thought that that one,
So, I think
what was the comment? Oh, I wanted to ensure that we captured my last statement in that paragraph liaison reports, that we captured the request to solicit a joint intermunicipal letter to come from Falmouth, Sandwich, and Mashpee. That portion of it wasn't captured. It would look like more of a request for a letter solely from this group.
David, I think in that aspect, what it was mentioned is that you wanted me to check to see if Sandwich and Falmouth were doing anything with that knowledge of Barnstables, and that we wanted to make sure that we had sent out a rebuttal to it. So I did reach out to both Sandwich and Falmouth. Falmouth is not written a letter yet. They have spoken of it at the meetings, and Sandwich has written a letter to the effect of opposing it. I did not ask them that question directly that you just stated, as to whether they would like to do a joint, but I'd be glad to do that if you'd like.
I would feel that coming from the three most impacted communities relative to the proposal, it would carry more weight as a joint letter, and I'm fine with doing our own solely, but I feel as though a joint letter would carry some sort of weight, I would hope. And
I think
so
that was the
I just-
nature of it, of the discussion as well.
Right, so I just wanted that captured, the request kind of that way in the minutes. That's all I had.
Okay. And
My bad.
are you clear on where the corrections are? Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Did you get a second?
We haven't had a motion. Oh.
You're on a motion or a second? I thought I motioned to, but a second.
Oh,
A motion with edits.
With all the edits,
And
okay.
I'll second, yeah.
Okay. But I assume there's no further discussion. John?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Okay. Next on the agenda, we have public comment for current agenda items. However, since we have town staff here, I'd like us to move to review and execution of bond anticipation notes for 3 road conversion projects with Craig Mahan, our tax collector and treasurer. And if anybody's here to comment on that, we'll take your comment first. Okay.
I don't think anyone wants to hear me speak.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome. So on the 3rd, the town went out to bid for a ban for $535,000 to cover the road projects. We needed that to cover so we don't get knocked on free cash. For June, there were 3 bidders. The highest was at 4.65%. The lowest was a net interest cost of 3.89% for Oppenheimer and Company.
Craig, I apologize. Can you move with the mic a little bit closer?
Sorry.
So, thank you so much.
So there were 3 bidders. The highest was a net interest cost of 4.65%, and the lowest was 3.89%. The winning bid was from Oppenheimer and Company for the full amount with a premium of $405. So I would just ask that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the ban for $535,000 awarded to Oppenheimer and Company. And if you do that, and then at the end of the meeting, I have documents for you to sign.
Okay. Are there any questions for Mr. Mahan?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the winning bid was to Oppenheimer and Company for the full amount of the ban with the premium of $405 and a net interest cost of 3.8909%.
Second.
Discussion? David?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Yes.
Tracy?
I'm sorry.
And
Yes.
John? And I'm a yes.
Thank you. I'll have
Thank you very
documents at the end
much.
for you to sign.
Thank you. Okay. And now we'll go to public comment for current agenda items. Is there any? Thank you. Lynn Barbie? Oh, I thought you were getting up. I'm sorry. So I have Chris Ball, please. Hello, Chris, would you state your
Thank you,
your
Madam
name and your
Chair, and
address?
members of the board. Chris Ball, Mashpee TV. I want to clear up some inquiries and confusions we've had about the Mashpee-Wakeby cluster workshops. Under our contract with the town manager has the purview to ask us to cover meetings that are not specified in our contract. The beginning of last week, the town manager did ask us to cover all 4 meetings. We will be broadcasting them live on channel 1072 and channel 8. They will also be streamed live to the town's website and to the town's YouTube channel. Also, they will be rebroadcast on 1072. They will be available the next day on the town's YouTube site and our own. They will, on 1072, they'll rebroadcast until the next meeting, and then we'll replace them with the current meeting. So I hope that clears up any confusion or any concerns, but that's what the plan is at this point. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Lynn Barbie? Hi, Lynn.
Good evening, everyone. Lynn Barbie, 73 Surf Drive. A couple of things that I wanted to just refer to. I know in the minutes that you all just approved that there was a mention by Mr. Cotton about having a plan for the cluster wastewater, and there was a motion by Mr. Whedon to have something that was a visual aid to have that. I'm still hoping to see that because I think it would help a lot. And part of my question about that is that I noticed that the new Article 4 for the warrant is got a lot of detail in it. And it has the zero gunters, and it has the amount of money, and it's got a lot of other detail in it, which I think is important for people to have when they're making a decision. Therefore, I'm very curious why, in the actual vote that we would have in this special town election, it simply reads that shall the town of Mashpee be allowed to exempt from the provisions of Proposition 2 1/2, so-called, the amounts required to pay for the bonds to be issued to fund the costs of a remote collection, recharge, and treatment facility to help manage both nitrogen and phosphorus in Papaneset Bay and the Mashpee-Wakeby ponds, including all other costs incidental in relation thereto. I'm wondering why the people who come to vote on the ballot won't have the same information as the people who go to town meeting and get to learn about this project. I think it's only fair, remember we're trying to be transparent, to have all the information on the ballot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have two.
Can I just want to note that the town administrator has given us, the town manager, I apologize, has given us the map that Mr. Cotton requested, and also that Tracy had asked for. Please.
And if I could, Madam Chair,
Please.
Just for a point of clarity, the language that was in the previous article that was proposed came from bond counsel. We have subsequently sought clarification with legal counsel as to whether or not that specific language can be put in. We were advised that we don't have to, but there was nothing that prohibited us from putting it in, and I believe you will see in yours tonight that it's there.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. Okay. And speaking about that, we have review of requests for approval of early voting in person, October 25th, 2025, in the special town election. Jess? Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Select Board members. At the meeting on August 21st of the Board of Registrars, they voted unanimously to recommend early voting in person here at Town Hall. It would be held from Tuesday, October 14th through Friday, October 17th during regular business hours, 8:30 to 4:30. And with your approval, we will be able to do that.
Are there any questions?
No.
Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Second.
Okay. And there's no discussion. David?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Okay. And review and approval of October 25th, 2025 special election warrant. Please.
So at a previous meeting, we have confirmed the days and times of this election. This is just to approve the warrant itself with the ballot question.
Are there questions? Please.
And if I could, Madam Chair, we're obviously on a tight timeline, but we have confirmed with council that this date is appropriate, legal. So town meeting would obviously be just prior to, and subsequent, we would have the voting, and it's a very short window.
Okay.
But it's all legal.
Thank you. Is there a motion to review and approve of October 25th, 2025 special election warrant?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? John?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
So there is one more thing on this memo. It's not a mandate by the state, but it is highly recommended to vote and approve of an alternate location in the event of an emergency, where one of our designated locations is deemed unsafe, with communication with the superintendent as well as the DPW director. We found that the Quashnet Elementary School would be a viable option for an alternate location for this specific election. Our office is hoping to create a list for the future of additional options for alternate locations. But for this specific election, I just want to make it clear, this is not to change polling locations. This is strictly just to vote for an alternate location, so that on election day, if there was something that made us have to change locations, then we would be able to avoid having an emergency meeting of the select board that day.
Motion to approve based on town clerk's recommendations that the Quashnet Elementary School Gymnasium be deemed an alternate polling location for the special election.
Second.
Okay. And,
I'm sorry.
no.
Third.
Is there any discussion? John?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Communications and correspondence? Is there any old business? Okay. New business, certification of hiring process for entry-level firefighter/paramedic, Zachary Rebus.
This is just a request, Madam Chair, from the department for the board to certify the process. The appointing authority is technically the fire chief. He has attested to the fact that the policies and procedures of the town were adhered to. Things were posted and advertised through HR, and HR has validated the process as well. So this is just certifying the process.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
I don't see any conversation, discussion. Okay. David?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. The next on our list is acceptance of resignation from the Mashpee Cable and Advanced Technology Board, Ken Hannaford. And we have an email in our packet.
Yes, on this particular gentleman, we've been reaching out to him to come to the meetings or try to get in touch with him, have been unable to through our office. He has not answered any emails or any phone calls or returned any to either the chair or our office. And my understanding is he may have moved out of town as well, but We're not confirming of that yet. But he has not made a response. We have to get this board up and running, and so.
Is there a motion to approve the resignation from the Mashpee Cable and Advanced Technology Board for Ken Hannaford with a letter of appreciation?
So moved.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Okay. Review of Draft 6 of October 25 Annual Town Meeting Warrant. We have two in our packets, and I've looked through both of them, and I'm sure others have as well. Are we looking at Draft 6A for our discussion purposes, or B?
It's,
For discussion, yes.
A is for discussion. My understanding is you have a memo from the planner relative to the request for warrant article number 10 to be withdrawn. Assuming the board takes that action, then you would be looking at, I believe is referred to as 6B, and that would be ready for your execution, subject to any of the final approvals that are necessary. But there should be a memo from the planner dated September 4th.
There is.
And it does confirm, Madam Chair, that the planning board voted unanimously to withdraw for the fall town meeting.
Okay. So is there a motion to approve the withdrawal? Is that how I make this? I thank you for that.
Or to rescind.
Rescind the
To
vote.
rescind.
Rescind the vote for the purposes of removing it from the warrant, which is essentially your agenda.
So is there a motion to rescind the vote on warrant Article 10 to remove it from the warrant?
So,
To rescind our vote.
So moved.
Thank you.
second.
Is there any discussion? John?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
So with that in mind, you'd be on to 6B.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Chair, on 6B, there was a mistake in the printing. It should read 5-0 on Article 4. It currently reads 4-0
On the top of page 4?
on Article 4. Article 4.
Okay. And I think that number is actually listed on the top of page 4 in our document. So it's 5-0,
Right.
and we'll correct that.
And Article 7 was asked if there was any, or any harm to Mashpee Commons if we did the split zoning. There is none. It does not affect them at all in their process. There is a couple of lots, but they have access with ease for their parking, so it doesn't affect the Commons. So that was done. So, and you have not taken a vote on that article yet.
Correct.
Correct.
So those two, you'll have to make a motion to correct that Article 4 and to take action on Article 7 as far as a vote goes, and then go ahead and finalize the warrant.
Okay, so let's start with Article 4. It's Article 4, it's on the very top of page 4, and there's a typo in the vote of the Select Board. So that, is there a motion to amend that vote
So moved.
to 5-0?
5-0. Yeah.
Second.
Okay. David?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
And John?
Yes.
Okay. So Article 7, do we have to remove the hold first?
Yes, I removed the whole.
Okay. Is there, thank you, is there a motion to remove the hold on Article 7?
So moved.
So, second.
Okay. David?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Okay. Is there a motion to approve and recommend Article 7?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
Did the planning board have public comment or something, a public hearing or something on this? And I was just wondering what resulted from that.
The public hearing, they did take the votes on that. I don't have them with me, but I know that they are ready to make their recommendations at town meeting. But I don't have an actual, I could get it for you for tomorrow, but I don't have it right now.
Yeah.
But that was submitted by the planning board
It
themselves.
was submitted by the planning
The
board.
planning board.
Submitted by them, so.
I guess we'll hear comments at town meeting. That's all I had.
Thank you. Okay, anything else? Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none. John?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Okay, and I don't think there's anything else. John?
Madam Chair, if you don't mind. So, Article 4 references, that's Mashpee Wakeby, correct? I'm assuming this is what they're going to use as, to add a visual
This
for
is
town meeting?
This is for Gunter's Road, yes. Yes.
I don't know, I was kind of hoping for something more.
And I thought we had, when they presented at our meeting.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine, but from the,
Can I, so.
Go ahead.
What are you thinking that you would like to see on here? What would
well,
make this clearer to you?
to be honest with you, I was hoping for it to be a little bit more zeroed in on the site and the surrounding neighborhood, which, from what I heard, was a lot of concern about, it's in my backyard. I thought this was going to have some vegetation, as they kind of, I hate to be like visual, but, you know, I want to see green, swirly, and I want to see a distance of saying, if there's 150 feet of, you know, vegetation or forest between the project and someone's house, I'd like to see that, but this, to be honest with you, if I look at this, I don't know what the distance here is.
It's not helpful to you.
This could be 30 feet, and it could be 300 feet.
To scale, yeah.
Yeah, there's no scale, and doesn't show any vegetation of, like, is there a 100-foot buffer of thick vegetation?
Okay, so what we, if I could, Madam Chair,
Please.
what we have before you is what we had received. I do have another print that literally was received today at 3:48 PM. I think this is probably a little more consistent with what your expectations are. I would invite the Assistant Town Manager to go up and maybe have everyone take a look at it and then hold it up for the camera so people can actually see this.
Hey, John,
I've
you're
only
looking
got
for like an
one
artist's
copy.
rendition of what it will look
Just
like.
Go ahead and show
And
them.
I think that's probably
But
what,
even, like,
that would be good to have, yes.
well, I mean, the biggest concern was,
So you
Yeah,
can see
this
the
is-
trees, you can see
this is-
the land and
yeah,
everything
this
else.
What they did is.
You got to talk into the mic.
What they did is they had, on the other map, as this map, is they've given you all of the locus of all of the places that it affects, whereas this one, it's showing you just what this portion affects. And if that's what you'd prefer, we can, I don't know, I don't want to speak for the boss, but I'm sure we can.
I mean, I wouldn't even mind having this kind of, this is the, 10,000-foot level, and this, so having both, actually, it doesn't, I mean, why not having two? But, and this is a
And this here, just so you know, is all underground. You would not, this isn't above ground, this is underground, so it would be seated above it and all of that. This is the only part that would be visible, and you'd have to get quite a ways in to see it.
And also, can you show them those roads?
So that's the civil
See,
plan?
this is where it's coming in to the plant. And this here is where the pipe would go to the neighborhood to hook up. But this would all be underground as well. There would be no disturbance other than putting the pipe in. And then this would be all underground. So this is the small piece that would be visible, if you could see it. And they've told me they've gone out and cannot see this from within a couple hundred feet at the, or 200 or 300 feet, they've come off, and they cannot see this area.
So-
Not the plan, obviously, it's not there, but
But this is what, and I guess, and I don't want to be like, it's still not good enough, but
No,
I
these
don't
are
think it's good
important
enough.
questions.
Because this, I think when we go to town meeting, this has to pass by 2/3. I think, I mean, I could get up, and if I was a neighbor that was not in favor of this, I would argue saying, oh, I'm gonna be looking at all this, construction, it's gonna be a nightmare. There's no buffer.
That's incorrect.
nothing
No, but
here
this-
is gonna be cut
But
down.
this
That's
doesn't
it.
show,
Wants it to be
this
apparent
doesn't
on the
show
map.
that this is,
You want it to be clear
It's
on the
not
map.
obvious that.
it's not obvious. And
Yeah.
if the public, so here's my question is, and I know we have to have something for town meeting, but is it possible that we, prior to town meeting, we can have something that is a better visual aid that we can approve at town meeting, and we can have it displayed at town meeting, so it's absolutely clear to the citizens, so they can make a decision on actual facts, because this is definitely better than this. But I want something more than this.
Could I
And that's
see-
just my
I
opinion.
was going to say, yeah, could we let others take a peek
I took a
at this
peek.
too?
I took a peek.
This
It's all
is-
about
this is
visual.
the underground.
Exactly. It's all about what visual
It
it
is.
would look like.
Because, again, if I'm against it, I can,
Good point. I also believe, if I'm not mistaken, that for Thursday, we'll have conceptual renderings.
I was just going to
Okay.
mention that, but I'll let him
Let us-
speak into the mic.
because we could approve those right before town meeting, and, because we've done that before, and then that is, once we
the
approve
entirety of the
it,
system?
that can be presented at town meeting.
I have a suggestion, once everybody's had an opportunity to
Let's
look
let
at
it
this.
It'll be all underground as well.
This
I
is,
want to make sure you get to see it.
That was on that site. It wasn't a wellhead, I'm sorry, it's proposed. It was never put in
never been, all right,
that circle,
and that's vernal pool.
yeah. And that's over 3.
Can we get a copy of that?
Now, what level of construction design is that?
I don't know where they are in the design, I don't.
My only caution is that there should be a disclaimer on that, it could be subject to change if it's not construction level drawings, and you're putting it in front of, tied to the town vote, if you're committing
Yeah,
to
I can see
final
it from here. I
design,
can see
and
it.
it's not at
Pretty
final
clear.
design stage.
That's the access road.
Yeah,
I mean, it's good for visualizing what's there,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't get into architecturals or drawings.
Oh, no, no,
that
I-
What would be
show above ground or
I-
anything
I
like
want
that,
the
because they're still
guarantee.
designing
I
it.
What I'm
This
looking
is
for
what
is
it
the
looks like
guarantee
today.
buffer,
After it's done,
We
what
just
I'll-
have-
forest between them.
Let's let him finish explaining, so we don't have, well, otherwise we just have noise going out. Thank you.
The other,
Explain it to Tracy.
I overheard. Could you just hold on for a minute until he explains it? And then,
This is all underground. It's all grass.
This is it.
This is the entrance from Sandwich going into the plant. That'll be here. And then this is a line that the pipe would be coming in to hook up these. But once it's in, it would be covered up,
Right.
green space,
You know,
as well
it's-
as all the rest of
we
this
can
is
see
what
what
it
it's
is.
gonna be.
This is not gonna be disturbed
Hard for
space.
someone
Do you know, what's the acreage like?
This is 20-something acres. Oh, here?
Like the
whole-
visible part,
This whole
like the circle.
area is supposed to be 3 to
26,
7.
27
Yeah.
acres.
How much?
3 to 7
26 acres.
Okay.
And it's far enough from the vernal pool by far.
Madam Chair, I would suggest that if the board wants to approve this tonight, that you do so with the specification that there be a visual aid provided with it. But I totally agree with what Selectman Whedon said. You don't want to get into a certain item at this juncture, because we're literally receiving these the day of. And although I have a general idea of the conceptual design at this juncture, I would not want to have a vote hinge on whether or not that visual aid was approved by this board tonight, if you follow what I'm saying.
I do. And I know David is waiting to speak, and I believe Mike is as well. But yes, point well taken. Please.
You want to go first?
No, go ahead.
I do feel as though, the drawings that were shown to us provide a higher level of clarity on what's being proposed. In addition to the previous comments with regards to what level of design they are, I think additional information on the drawing that was presented to us, I feel as though if the engineer could determine the outer limitations or extents of the construction, and having a delineating line on the drawings for that I think would help as well. I think that's important information that folks are looking for, to show the carve-out. And that should encompass any kind of staging areas or anything like that that may be impacted when they do it, so that those things can be identifiable on the drawing if questions should come up to that specifically. Those couple of things, and there could be a call-out that references the delineating outer extent
Yes.
line.
Agreed.
I think that should satisfy Select Board Member Cotton's concerns, I would hope, and provide additional level of clarity.
It will help.
All set. Thank you. Mike?
No, it's quite similar. I mean, bottom line is the access way they're coming from Sandwich is something that would be broadcast broadly. That's a big one. So it's not going to disrupt the other side. And I think an artist rendition of some sort that shows the before and after what they're going to see from their homes it makes things a lot easier for someone to say, well, I thought I'd see a big building right in front of my house. Apparently it's underground, so let's make sure they can actually visualize what it's going to look like. It's not easy to do, I know, but
David?
Well, no, just to that, I mean, doing conceptuals and renderings, that, I don't know if this time, I don't know where it's at in the process to
Right.
kind of ask for that. That sounds
Hard to
like
do,
a lot. I think what I was looking for on the civil plans that would be easy enough just to put a buffer line on there and a couple of call-outs. That's, I think, is easy to do.
Right, and I think some of the concerns that have been raised publicly can be addressed at the informational meetings that are forthcoming. I'm not saying that everybody's going to be happy, but I'm prepared to say that there will be a lot more information into specifics that will be helpful.
John, please.
All right, just to clarify, I'm not worried about, to your point, I totally get what you're talking about. The exact placement, what I'm looking for is the distance from the residential properties that will be undisturbed or the forest buffer.
Well, how am I going to do that on a visual aid?
It's there.
Oh, it's actually there, but there's no dimensions. So
No,
I'm
but-
looking at the buffer, though. I'm looking from these property lines.
Okay, but
Like-
I need to know what you're specifically looking for that isn't represented.
Could I interrupt for a second to ask a clarifying question? So, in keeping with what you're both saying, if you had a more detailed map, which the second one you looked at was more detailed and you were better with that, and if the engineer could say, rather than to write, there will be a minimum of 100-foot buffer where trees, natural buffer around all of these properties,
That-
Even if they can't capture
No, but
it.
that's what I'm saying, but again, let me just, I say it again. Distance from the residential property
Yeah.
that will be undisturbed.
Correct.
So we're not gonna go in there, and I'll give you an example. Leclerc Housing. When we approved Leclerc Housing, it was my understanding that they were gonna tear down to build the housing. To build those 38 units, that was great. They literally cleared like acres, left, right, center, front, all the way to the South Cape Village. They just took down every tree that they could get to. So I don't want the same thing to happen, knowing that the neighbors were very concerned about the buffer. So I'm not, if this is the construction zone that's gonna be disturbed, the exact placement and configuration of the treatment center I'm not so concerned about that, as long as the public is very clear as far as undisturbed buffer from the residential property.
I've got it. You want the natural buffer distance, period.
Right, that it's gonna be
I got it.
undisturbed. And I want that distance.
I
So,
just
I
said
mean-
natural buffer distance.
Perfect.
Natural buffer distance.
But
You
I said
don't-
that the 3 times, and
But you
everyone
don't, but you
keeps
don't need to have.
asking me like I'm not
Well, you
asking
don't-
correctly.
But you don't, I think the confusion was, you don't need to have that drawn out on a map. You need a map similar to the one we all looked at, and then the statement that. Is that sufficient?
Correct, and it's
Just so-
almost like this is green, this is like a buffer.
So-
And how wide is that buffer?
So from here to here is what you want to know, and from here to here is what you want to know, from all of these
Not
locations.
necessarily. See, so here's the thing. I'm going to guess that this could be disturbed, right?
Where? On
Meaning
this side?
Cleared,
Oh, no,
because,
no.
yes, well, yeah, because if you look at our treatment center, they don't leave all the trees up right next to the facilities. So
Well, that's because they're
I want this distance.
from that
From
point?
this, I want this
Okay,
distance.
okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I got you.
So as long as I know if this is thick,
Yep,
lush
yep.
buffer
Okay.
from the residential, that's what I'm concerned about, because that's what the public,
Yep.
that's what I heard. They're concerned. But if it's not visual, in my opinion,
Yep.
it will not pass, because to pass 2/3 vote, I'm uncertain. By these maps, I don't know.
Right,
So-
that's why we won't use these. We're going to use the one that has been circulated with more detail with regard to the buffer.
Right.
Okay.
And the
So-
exact configuration of if they put it like this, like that, it doesn't matter, as long as they're not disturbing that
Correct,
buffer.
correct.
So, I mean, these drawings are to scale. There's a scale chart at the bottom, so they are to scale. I mean, or they wouldn't put it on there. So, I mean, you can take the incremental measurement at the bottom on both of these. There is a scale at the bottom.
And they
So
have to
it's there. But I think if you were to put the delineating
It should be a-
line that is color-coded, one showing outer extent
Yeah.
of the disturbance, because they are going to overclear to make it
That's-
convenient for construction practices, but then having another one that shows the limitation or where that 100-foot buffer comes outside of that, and having a dimension tick marks on that should address, I think, Mr. Cotton's concerns.
And there should be a scale at the bottom of your,
There is.
map. Obviously, the assistant manager's pen is not to scale, but it looks like it could be, what'd you say?
About 250 feet, roughly.
250, 300?
No, to my point is, the public, I don't want people at town meeting to sit there and go, so that's, guessing.
no, they
I
don't
want
do
to spell out like, hey, if it's 150 feet and it's green, this is undisturbed, that's,
Yeah.
listen,
We can do that.
thank you.
Thank you. Good discussion
We
to
had a light
have,
meeting,
thank you.
so.
Oh, so you want to extend it, is that what?
Okay. So, I forgot where we were.
Article 4 is their On that is where we were, and
Yes.
I believe, Town Manager, you mentioned that there was revised language.
Yes,
It's not
Zero
red-
Gunter's is in there.
It's not redlined exactly what changed from previous versions. Is there any way to call attention to them?
Thought it might have been redlined. I'm sorry that it wasn't. Zero Gunter's is in there, in the specific language. So, again, if you're wondering why it wasn't there originally, it came from bond counsel. But then, when we went to legal counsel, general counsel, there was no indication that we couldn't leave it in there, and the sentiment was, that's what you wanted, so there it is.
Oh, so it's not any substantive change, it's just...
No,
just
sir.
the addition of the...
Identifying the property.
It's
Gotcha.
specifically identifying it, because that's what, we got the flavor from the
The community one.
comments, yeah.
They added on the fifth line down.
Gotcha.
Okay, so if everybody's happy with the way it is at this point, then I just need you to execute, I need you to execute the town meeting warrant as stated 6B.
But they should take a vote, though.
Yes.
On the amended.
They already did, I thought you did take it to, I'm sorry.
No,
No.
we
My
voted on,
bad.
the amendment we voted on was the,
You voted on these corrections already.
we voted on the typo.
You voted on Article 4, 5, to change it to 5-0.
Correct.
Voted on Article 7 to
Correct.
remove the hold, and you voted approve and recommend 5-0. And then you withdrew Article 10, 5-0, correct?
Correct,
But to Selectman Whedon's point, I don't know that they voted on the Zero Gunter's
correct.
language,
Amendment.
The amendment,
the amendment.
we did not.
Oh, well, okay.
The clerk is saying no.
No, I know they didn't vote on the.
So
on the-
so we need an
Is-
amended.
Is there is there a movement to approve the amendment which adds town-owned property located at 0 Gunter's Lane, and then also has book and page numbers?
So moved.
Motion. Oh, second.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
And that's to Article 4.
Correct.
With approved visual aids at town meeting?
I bet we'll have them by Monday. In fact, I bet we'll have them
Well,
by
we can't vote-
Thursday.
We'll have visual aids that have been approved by you in
Yes.
the town meeting warrant book. But that's not something that's major we're just making sure the verbiage
Okay.
in your warrants and articles are correct.
And that hasn't gone away. It's really clear that you and Tracy both said you wanted the visuals, and we'll make sure that the visuals are ones that you can be happy with.
But just for clarity, if you vote to approve and execute this, all you're voting on tonight is the visual aids. You don't have the document in front of you that you're approving tonight.
Right.
It's just with visual aids that will be forthcoming, and we're going to provide them to you so that you're content with them.
So we motion to approve
So now,
Article 4
we,
with adding addition of 0 Gunter's Lane?
That's correct.
We have a motion and a second.
right, we haven't taken the vote.
And is there any further discussion on that one change? And then we can go on to something else. Okay. David?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Motion to execute the warrant with supplemental visual aids as recommended.
Second.
Any discussion? John?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Okay, thank you. Okay. Next on the agenda is discussion of project eligibility, site approval letter from Mass Housing dated August 26, 2025. I will put this out to board members first because I have a lot to say about this, but I want to hear your thoughts first.
For me, reviewing it was, Madam Chair, if I may.
Please.
I thought their summary of what was captured in our letter was rather de minimis. I don't feel it accurately captured all the concerns in their follow-up letter and the attachment.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was a bit disappointed. I think one of the major concerns that I had was that on the massing, being consistent with local massing. I felt as though that's an area where potentially we may want to consider filing an appeal to this, because the project as proposed is not consistent with height restrictions. All the other structures are around that. It's actually setting a precedent for extending the height. In the document, it calls the property a 4-story building. And then, they say that it's consistent with the local and adjacent massing. I don't agree with that. There was other concerns that I think they have to comply with federal permits, environmental being one of them, and the concerns around the discharge, considering that there's another development going up right above it that's already under construction. And where is all this discharge and affluent going to go? I need to know what the plan is for the discharge. Do they have the actual capacity? And if they do not, then I think that's a significant consideration that they should be taken at the mass housing level. There was one other thing I'm drawing a blank on. That's all I have for
I
now.
was going to say, we can come back to
Yes.
you if, okay. Is there anybody else?
I mean, my read on it is just, this is from the state, if you will, or from Mass Housing, but it now has to come back to the town, but this is the 40B process, and again, this is somewhat new to the town, but not having access to the 10% affordable, the 40Bs. Hopefully, this has to go to what, zoning and still planning as well? No,
No.
or is it just zoning?
So with regard to an appeal, unless, we have not met with town council recently. I would want to verify this with town council, but my understanding is that at this point, the town does not appeal. That the next step, my understanding is, and again, I want to verify this, my understanding based on the 40B guidelines is the next step is this goes to the ZBA. It does not go to planning. That I'm clear on. But if we have an appeal, I'm not, I don't think we do, but I would defer to town council.
Madam Chair, if the board would like, be more than happy to take this letter along with the board's letter and review it with town council for the purposes of reviewing our options. Is that what you would like me to do?
I think that would be a good thing to do. I want to hear from others before I speak, so.
Well, there were a lot of concerns. I think that the committees, commissions, and boards did an excellent job in providing, commentary that we gathered and put together in our letter when we submitted the comments. I think one of the key concerns for me still, number one is the language in the letter, recommendations from Mass Housing. The bullet point list that they share is, they use the wording should instead of must. Should is always a word to me that just, it's kind of fluffy. And still, a primary concern I have is with the fire department, first responders, emergency personnel responding to what will be very populated apartment building. So the means of egress and the height of the building still is very concerning. And does that then mean that we then have to purchase another fire truck that does go four-story? I mean, it kind of, which, I don't know the average cost of a fire truck that does go up that many stories. I don't have that information, but still a concern. So I think it was my understanding also that this is essentially out of our hands at this point and that it does go to the Zoning Board of Appeals. However, my thoughts based on subject matter experts remains the same on this project.
Okay, thank you. So I would like to get that from council. I also think it's going to be important, as you look at regulations, the ZBA's role in this is very complex and involves multiple responsibilities, far more than the time that we've spent on this and submitting a letter. So, for example, they have to adopt administrative regulations under statute. They have to adopt rules for conduct of comprehensive permit proceedings, including the application form, the fee schedule, the procedures they'll follow, to hire consultants, and it goes on and on. I think it would be really important to ensure that town council is able to meet with the ZBA and take them through the process step by step to ensure that we don't miss a step in the process and end up with this under constructive review, which was something that they warned the select board about. So I think to have town council work with the ZBA will be really important. With regard to the letter, I found the same things that both David and Tracy have already mentioned. So our board was asked to compile comments from the municipality, which we did. And I guess Mass Housing has the right to make decisions about the eligibility of the project. And they have a right to state that this is what the municipality said, but we've decided not to take that into consideration. I guess they have that right. I'm concerned that they absolutely omitted many of the points that we made. And we made them using data, we made them using state law, local bylaws. I know it's a 40B, and I know that they don't have to follow all our local bylaws, but I would like to see, I don't think we can appeal this. I don't think we're going to change it. I would certainly like to see our letter outlining particular issues of safety. One of those is the lack of usable space with kids. If you could have up to 114 children living there with Route 28, the front yard. I mean, I think that's something that we need to say to the ZBA and to the public, that this was a concern of the municipality that we want noted. The second one that I'm particularly concerned about is there's no description whatsoever, and there's no mention of us writing about flow neutral. We're held to flow neutral for 0% SRF financing. I want it to be made clear that this board's taken a position, the town's taken a position, that this needs to be addressed in some way. And if Mass Housing decides they don't have to address it, I want that decision to be on Mass Housing, not on the town of Mashpee, so that we can have a defendable position if we have issues or problems. I also think that we made a compelling case with regard to the amount of discharge and recharge that was available with the sewer system that's in place. I at least want us to be on record to state that. And I agree with Tracy wholeheartedly with regard to the statement. The applicant, we have made the point that there's not a ladder truck to reach it, that a ladder truck can't go around it, that a ladder truck can't reach it from 28 with the utilities there. And Mass Housing writes, the applicant should engage with the fire department to review the plans and address public safety concerns, in particular those pertaining to access fire apparatus, that's how it's written, and other emergency vehicles to the building and on-site fire suppression capacity. I'm not sure what that means. I do hope that a resolution isn't going to be that we're going to purchase a ladder truck that can reach this at the cost to taxpayers. If that's a solution that comes to be, then I think that that really needs to be a cost of a developer who is in this for profit and should make a profit. I'm not disputing that at all. But I think we need to be following that. But mostly, I would like to suggest that in addition to having town council look at this, to ask if there's room for an appeal, I would like us to put together, and I'm happy to draft, a very short cover letter so that our entire document goes to the ZBA and becomes public record for the town. So I don't know if other board members are comfortable with doing that.
Well, we made a point of making sure that when we responded, we added all the documents to our letters. So if it was that important back then, it's as important today. So yes, I would agree.
Okay.
I mean, there's no sense of not doing it, because then it's too late.
It is.
So,
and-
well, let's step forward and do it now.
Are you good with us submitting the letter along with?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to reiterate
Please.
again, back to, and Tracy mentioned it a few times, and I know we all mentioned it, fire and safety. I find it shocking that they could actually, I'm guessing, I don't know what the exact process is here, but the question is, can the ZBA approve it without satisfying safety and fire requirements? I don't think so. If it's unsafe by fire code standards, I don't believe it's possible to approve it by the zoning board. I mean, that itself just, now, I don't know if the concerns stated by then, or now the fire chief, right? Were those concerns, or were those facts, safety requirements, state requirements? That's what I don't know, and I'm not the expert. So obviously, safety is my biggest concern with all of this. No offense, I'm not really, concerned that, you can't play in the front of your building. But if you can go to the back of the building, I mean.
There's no green space
I
at
get
all,
it.
no usable space. Apologies.
But then again, it's not high. My fire and safety that's like first 1, 2, 3.
But that's also safety too, but where they play. So it's included in the old safety thing, all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, it is, they're walking, it's a short walk to the park in front where there is plenty of green space. Again, I'm not saying, that's just, for me, it's not high. 1, 2, and 3 is fire safety, for its residents. That's my biggest concern.
Well, we won't have a zoning board if they approved it. If they went ahead, there's no question, they wouldn't approve it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's got to be, I'm assuming there'll be meetings with the fire department and the state and fire marshals or something to say, here's the rules and regs, this is what
Right.
has to be met, this is a must, and if they're not met, I'm assuming it's a no.
Well, there's some pretty obvious numbers. The fire truck can only go so high, and the building is to go so high. I mean, the numbers don't lie,
Right.
so.
So fire concerns are my biggest concern.
But you don't have an objection to the entire letter that came from the municipality going to the ZBA?
Yeah, but it was like, whatever why not? I mean, because this way you know it's all-inclusive, right? I mean, there was a lot, you did a lot of work into putting that together. Why reformat it? Why not give them all the facts? And that was from feedback from everybody in the entire town, seemed like.
The last
So-
thing we want to say is we should have.
Right. Submit all that information.
Okay. And as I said, the ZBA is going to need, I would think, a tremendous amount of legal support to help them meet all of the deadlines in the way that they're supposed to move through this. Their role is much more extensive than ours was, and we had legal come here and present, so.
And the
we
town
don't
is
miss it.
always prepared, Madam Chair, to provide any board, committee, commission, or council with legal counsel as necessary for guidance through any of these types of challenges.
Correct. I don't know if on a quick read, and I don't mean to speak for other boards, but I guess what I'm suggesting is I don't think it needs to come from them to have them understand that it's a really hard legal process to read through. I wouldn't want to have to be following that step by step without missing any deadlines. And so maybe, I'm not trying to tell another board what to do, but maybe I wouldn't wait for them to ask.
Any board that has any knowledge would like to listen to somebody else's ideas. You know, they're not going to reject it. And I think we would be completely not doing our job if we didn't try to make sure they understood where we come from.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Any-
So,
Please.
so one part that I'm kind of hung up on is that, you know, under the 40B, 760 CMR code, one of the priority project eligibility requirements is, this is from 760 CMR 56.04, project eligibility, other responsibilities of subsidizing.
Sorry, could you repeat that, sir?
760 CMR, 56, subsection 56.04, the project eligibility, other responsibilities and subsidizing agency. Under the project eligibility, it reads, to be eligible to submit an application to board for a comprehensive permit or to file or maintain an appeal before the committee, the applicant and the project shall fulfill at a minimum the following project eligibility requirements. Subsection A of that portion, the applicant shall be a public agency, a nonprofit organization, or limited dividend organization. And in their letter, they state that this project proponent is not, but could be. And that, I feel, is relevant.
Can you tell us where you are in the letter? So
So
we can
in the
all see?
letter, under attachment 1, this is on page 3, they're not numbered. No, that was actually, no, it's on the last page
Okay.
of the attachments. Under subsection F, Mass Housing finds that the applicant must be organized as a limited dividend organization. Mass Housing sees no reason this requirement could not be met, so that it's an assumption that they're not there yet. So I don't know why it's being rushed, and I feel as though before this proceeds to a zoning board approval, which he's the chair, let's not forget that, you know, the chair of the zoning board is proposing this. He's not meeting all the requirements. So I'm not looking to be nice and you know, give a pass on this, because it negates a lot of the building codes and everything else. You know, I still feel as though that there should be some sort of conflict of interest. But, you know, before it goes before the zoning board, I feel as though these requirements that our concerns need to be formally addressed, and that portion, it needs to be minimally held up to a point where he cuts the mustard on all the other requirements to be deemed eligible. It just doesn't smell right, it doesn't feel right, and at the end of the day, it's setting a precedent. So you're navigating the process to establish a loophole so that Mashpee Commons can come back later and say that there's a precedent for 4-story buildings, and we want our height variances increased at a later date because they're the owner of the property right now. So this is their project, working with our zoning board chair to increase our height variance so that they can build something higher further down the road. It smells fishy. There's a conflict there. How are you going to work with our zoning board chair to circumvent our building codes and our height variances, and even fire department saying, hey, we can't, protect this building. It's higher, it exceeds our tallest ladder truck, and the zoning board chair's proposing it? It's just, I feel as though there's grounds for an appeal. In my opinion, I don't know how, I don't want to keep being redundant in that, but, if it walks like a duck and smells like it and talks like a duck, this is a duck. That's all I have at this time.
Thank you. So if I could ask the town manager, when the attorneys look at that, to give special attention as well to, it's F in the addendum, about the situation with the individual and the limited dividend organization.
Yes, I
And
made a note.
again, if we can appeal, I would be on board to do that. I don't think we can.
There is a process under 760 CMR, 56.06, procedural regulations for appeals to the Housing Appeals Committee. I'd like to know more about the process and what we have to do to exercise that statute. I think the last piece that I had was under the New England, bear with me. Under the New England Fund, one of the parameters of that is that these pages aren't numbered, but on this document that's publicly available, it NEF subsidy requirements effective February 6, 2025, under the home ownership projects. Any transfer of all or a portion of the NEF lender's interest during the entire term of the construction financing shall be subject to approval of the subsidizing agency. Is something that I want to see, and it's also under the rental, similar language. Any transfer of all or portion of the NEF lender's interest during the entire term of the financing shall be subject to approval of the subsidizing agency. I'd want to make sure that language is captured as well. And
What subsection is that, sir?
it doesn't have it. This is in the actual NEF
Okay.
documents, requirements.
Okay.
So the lending agency? That's all I had.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay. So we'll hear, you'll take this to legal and we'll hear back from them.
It's going to legal.
Thank you. The applicant has 2 years within the receipt of this letter to file for a comprehensive permit, so.
Now, how do we hold it up? How do we prevent the zoning board from taking any action if we have concerns at this level?
I'm going to take the board's letter and take this letter and basically frame the concerns that have been stated publicly and speak to council as to what action, if any, are options. And I'm sure that they'll get right back to me.
And we haven't heard that the comprehensive permit has been filed, I don't think.
I haven't.
Okay. So, I mean, that's what really starts the whole process, and
Yeah.
I don't know that that's been filed. But I think we'll be a lot clearer getting this from legal, and we'll know where we are and what we should do and how to move forward.
So the quicker we get legal involved, the better, obviously.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. The next is the discussion of the Barnstable County luxury tax hearing, or I think they're calling it a luxury fee, transfer fee. So this actually came up 2 weeks ago when we were meeting here. I had provided the town manager with the most current information that I had with regard to this. And the most current information was, this was in its infancy, and it was a ways off, and that's what he reported based on the information I gave him, which was correct, 2 weeks ago. 2 days after that meeting, on September 3rd, I think it was a few days after that meeting, the Assembly of Delegates at their regular meeting distributed this Assembly legislative timeline. And I just want, there was, as I have written on the top of this, the Assembly Speaker announced that questions or comments would not be entertained at the time. So we received this. I just want people to be updated. Because I play two roles here, I can answer factual questions that you could find by yourself by watching the meeting, just very factual questions. If you want to discuss this, I'm going to recuse myself so that I can vote on this at the Assembly. So I can, as I said, answer any factual questions, but if you want to get into a discussion, I'll recuse myself.
So can you just say, like, just factual questions, like, so what is the luxury real estate transfer fee? Can you just sum it up? Like,
Yes, it would be a fee of a home valued at an undetermined amount of money. The conversation in meetings has, and I've seen 2 or 3 million, but that's not determined, with exceptions that have not yet been determined at a certain percentage which has not yet been determined. That fee would go into, this came forward in a response to a resolution about the county working on a housing crisis. So the fee would go into a county account that would be used to help towns on the Cape in a way that hasn't been yet determined.
Yeah, and it was $2 to $3 million was the number they were using for the value of the home.
I think it's currently listed as 2 million. That's what
But-
as of today.
With this, there's no, that is all to be determined,
Yeah.
is what I was told at the meeting that I listened to. So,
so it'd be a fee on any house that changed ownership
any
So,
home, a
yeah.
over a
luxury
certain value?
sold over a certain
Yeah.
value yet to be determined.
And is this already statewide, or is this just, they're looking at
This
this
is,
on Cape Cod?
this is Barnstable County. And there is let's see, the hearing is set for September 24th, special hearing on transfer fee. And that's all I have.
There was some reference to affordable housing and things that haven't been done on the Cape, but they don't have finances or funding to do it. This is an opportunity to
I
get
think-
a little extra money by,
Well, due
I'm just
respect, I'm
guessing.
going to interrupt for a second because I feel like we're moving into discussion, which I think is important, and I think I need to recuse myself while you discuss.
well,
That's all right, I don't mind.
I don't have any more to say. I'm done.
Just-
I'm guessing, so.
When's our next meeting?
I'm gonna-
15th, yeah.
Next Monday.
So, I'm not sure if she needs to recuse, because, I
I
mean,
I
she's
was
a
gonna say,
representative of the town.
I don't
so-
believe,
Right.
I don't believe she needed to, but
Yeah. Exercising caution,
Play it safe.
I don't blame her.
the vice chair,
Well, let's talk about her now that she's gone.
No, what happens if we nominate her for something else, right, another responsibility while she's not here, right? That's what happens when you're late too, right?
So on this, I'm wondering if we do our homework between now and next meeting, and if we have a letter of support for this that we can take into consideration, or opposition, I don't want to speak on behalf of the board, is to, like, having a draft at our next meeting that we can carry the support of the body with her for this action. So essentially, my understanding is it's like another whiff, right? So it's just another funding mechanism that'll go towards affordable housing. What that may look like, I would be interested in materials that they have kind of defining how it may work as far as a process. And, you know, we would have to take that into consideration if we were to adopt it, but I think at a county level, support an idea. It addresses housing on a regional level, and I'm supportive of it.
is the board interested in a certain threshold, whether it be 2 or 3 million, or does that really matter?
I don't think we would have the say on that, right? Because this is,
No, I'm just talking
Delegates
about
would-
what your view is in terms of expressing it to the county.
Well, the home rule thing, I mean, so this is going to be, this is proposed to be implemented at the county level?
this county level.
County level.
So they would be, that's my concern is, this is county level, their fund, they allocate.
That's also my concern, like how equitable is it? Does it matter which town? I mean, if some towns are really pitching in big bucks, is it to scale of how many residents in their particular town within the county get access to the fund? I mean, how would I guess I'm just not sure how the implementation works, but I love the concept. And I think I'd love to get the average cost of a home was in Mashpee around $1 million is the average. That's not considered a luxury home at this point. So I'm not
That's
sure.
about right.
Yeah, so I'd love to get some more actuals on what is really considered a luxury home, and I don't know if that differs. I'm assuming that differs by town.
Yeah.
Probably greatly, depending on which town it is.
And I have a little bit of hesitation because is this taxing what's already being taxed?
Yeah.
And I don't know how fair that is, because that's like tax the rich, and they're paying an increase in taxes by when they sell their house. And to the earlier point, who's gonna receive the funds? It's the county. County's gonna distribute them in the way, we're not gonna have control over it. So, I don't know, I have a lot of hesitation to supporting this, but that's just my opinion,
So
especially with
I'm
so
looking at,
unknown.
I'm looking at it like similar to the CPC derived funds, and with the mitigation funds that the county holds. So with the mitigation funds, they annually send us a list. This is what was derived from mitigation, and then there's a transfer of that. I don't know, it's typically a substantial amount of money in the various buckets that they mitigate. I don't know if they put it in the bucket and then who gets the interest on that? Do they take administrative cost off the top or anything like that? I guess would be my questions as to, like, are they benefiting off of managing the overall fund? Because then I would share other board members' concerns relative to, maybe that should be, we should have a mechanism so the towns are able to capture it, manage it, and benefit from any interest that's yielded from the accumulation of those funds.
And I'm not familiar with the framework of the distribution. Are you?
No,
Yeah.
it's all unknown.
Nothing's set up yet.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what their conceptual design is of how this is going to be utilized.
My concern would be the same as yours, David, because I know with the opioid money, they're holding a certain piece to manage that and send it out to us. So,
They're getting some interest on that money.
you got it.
So yeah, it's kind of a lot to do to put together a letter either for or against before the next meeting.
A lot of unknown.
There is a lot of,
We don't have enough information.
If I can just add one thing from, I don't have personally a lot of confidence in the county, to be honest with you. I think when rates were down at 2 and 3%, and the what they were providing from a county as 5 and 5.5% on if you installed Title V in your house over the past so many years, they were reaping all the benefits of profits. And if they were getting 1 or 0 or 1 or 2% on loans, they were charging the public 5% to 5.5%. So, and I know firsthand because I'm one of those people. Because my Title V system cost me 5.5%, and for many years, I'm still paying on it. And it was when times where rates were below 3%. And they probably got the money at 0%. So they were making 5% on me, and they probably made 5% on many of our other, residents in Mashpee, and never mind across Barnstable. So I have a lot of hesitation with working with the county for that one reason. I think that should have been a pass-through. We're trying to improve the environment, improve, water and the whole thing, and here they are making money on us. And when you add it all up, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that's a little hesitation with the county. But
I like the concept, again, but there's not enough information to have a really informed, formal stance, I feel, on this at this time.
I guess the alternative is sit back and watch it play out and then learn from it and maybe bring something forward at a municipal level that's similar, that's better for the municipality. And, because we did reduce the whiff on the CPC, and then the housing crisis has only gotten worse, right? And so I think we are looking for alternative things to offset and specifically address the affordable housing. I'm open to that, like you, Ms. Wilson. I do have, I like the concept, but it's too rushed to get anything to them and support the chair one way or another at this point in time. But I will be reading up more on it to see how it can potentially help.
The assistant and I also have a managers, administrators meeting coming up, and we'll find out what the other towns are hearing or learning. Just remind me to ask that question. When is it, the 18th?
18.
We'll ask.
24th, is this meeting's the 24th, so yeah, that's pretty close, yeah. Did anyone else have anything else on this, or should I step out and grab?
No, I get it. I think it's too soon to make anything, we should wait. I mean, I think I read about it, but not enough, and we can't make any decisions on anything right now, I don't think. Anybody other?
Sure.
We're done talking about you.
Glad you didn't adjourn, Lois. Thanks. Okay. All right, public comment for any item not on the agenda. Okay, additional. Lynn?
Hi, Lynn Barbie. I want to speak on behalf of the Community Preservation Committee. We are having our open hearing, getting input from people next Tuesday, the 16th, here. We try to get people to come in and talk about potential projects early so that we have time to deal with them to get them on the May meeting. So there's a poster on the bulletin board out there. It's green. We've been posting it on the internet, but we really hope to get some projects that we can fund. Just wanted to let everybody know. Thank you.
Okay, liaison reports.
I don't have any.
Water quality updates. We've talked a lot about water quality. I know, keeping in mind Mr. Whedon's comment from the last time we met that we should have ongoing updates. I am aware of that, and I think it'll be easier to get people to give us an update once they're finished with the project at hand. You know, getting the drawings done, the modeling done, and preparing for public, the hearings or the meetings. So we haven't forgotten that. We know we'll move on to, you know, what's happening with the WCOIC process. But I don't want to bother staff right now with that. Please.
Sorry.
Not at all.
I was just wondering, for water quality updates in general, what's the ideal there? Is that you do have someone from staff that is coming to provide updates, or it's just general, depending on what committee you sit on, or, okay.
Yeah. So, you know, for example, an update from the Sewer Commission would be a water quality update. What's happening with the Cape and Islands Water Management Fund might be an update.
Okay.
But unless we're having staff in, we'd bring staff in for, if there's an update and that generates a conversation about staff, then we'll work through the town manager and bring the staff in. But we'd like to have staff in earlier in the meeting because they've been here
Right.
all day.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Understood. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
Thanks. Town manager updates.
I always like to announce some positive feedback. The head of the Ponds Regatta wanted to say that yesterday's regatta was a great success. This was received today from an Alan Robinson, and he went on to thank the support of the town of Mashpee, all government officials, for a very successful event, and it was a little more detailed than that, but it was much appreciated what the town did.
Nice. It's nice to get positive feedback. Okay. there's nothing else?
We do get some positive feedback.
We do. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Sorry.
Oh, I
Madam Chair,
apologize.
second.
Yes.
Is there a 9/11 ceremony?
Thank you.
Yes, my understanding is there will be one at the police station this year. On 9/11.
Thank you for asking that.
Thank you, because the police chief just contacted me this morning about that, because it's generally at the fire department. So, thank you.
Okay, so the 9/11 ceremony will take place at the police station.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you, Selectman Cotton.
Now, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? David?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.